Right, and as we keep the momentum going, give it up for the Blackbird Stage. We're coming through at Poetry Festival Poetopia. We got Hudson Valley Writers Center on deck, but give it up for Dreams in Hiding Writing.
Hello everyone, welcome. I am Rose Aborizk. I represent Dreams in Hiding Writing, which is a collective. We are showcasing our anthology, which is called Afterwards We Go From Here. Everyone will be reading an array of pieces, some that might be in the anthology, some that might not. And without further ado, I'm going to read a piece that I actually wrote last week. And it's called the poem that I wrote on my lunch break today. And then after I'm done reading, you're going to hear from some amazing poets. So please stick around. Okay. There was a gray and cloudy day that made me want to tuck my fears away. I wanted to lay in my bed and forget all the things the government has said. Chasing bodies, crushing spirits, closing in like a dystopia. The world spins in an ungodly way, and we are all forced to stay in our day jobs, in our routines, told to be quiet and let it all unfold. How can I not be exhausted by a world that seems to want to bring us all down and trample us? I'm focusing on being happy. Joy is a form of resistance, as they say. I've been moving my body more, I've been reaching up to the sky more, and if I can't change it all, maybe I can at least surround myself with people who stand for the good and try to hold on to it too. I'll march with you even if I get scared. I'll walk with you at the pace that you desire to walk, and I'll point out the blooms so that we can hold on to the beautiful. I want my life to be beautiful, and I want yours to be beautiful too. Thank you very much. Again, I am Rose Aborizk. You can find me at dreamsinhiding.writing. And please follow there to see updates on upcoming anthologies and the like. And next you're going to hear from the lovely Kyle Bastin, and you can find him on Instagram at Bastin Films. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Finn didn't explain what the after poem means, but it's basically a poem that is written after another piece of work. So it could be a movie, a piece of music, anything. I chose to write my after poem over the song Down in the Valley by The Head and the Heart, and this is the poem. When the picking pattern appeared, it was 2010. It perked my ears at my brother's house, probably over a Christmas Eve breakfast. He always plays music when he has us over. The sounds sync to the dining room speakers and living room TV. I think he has a special playlist made just for when we're there. He's never told me that, but I can tell. Each song was carefully curated for the taste of our parents, but this one seemed to be just for me. When my Uncle Jeff, my godfather, passed, it was 2012. The song struck my mother's ears this time, when she needed it most, saying it reminded her of him. He was hardworking and full of life, connecting with people everywhere he went. I haven't seen her break down in tears with that much pain and heartbreak. I've never seen how much power words could hold in helping to heal. I was listening to the whole album by then, each song on it speaking to me, but this one now stretched beyond myself. When I saw it perform live for the first time, it was 2013. They had just released their second album, and I listened to it all the way through on our road trip back from a Florida vacation. I saw that they were touring in Indy soon. I had only gone to one show before, but I thought I would pitch the idea. My mom agreed, and my sister joined in as well. It was at the Egyptian Room, my first time in standing room only. My first time going to a show with my mom. My first time seeing how powerful live music could be, especially when you get as close to the stage as possible. When I moved to Orlando, it was 2017. It was the first time I had thought selfishly about following my dreams. It was for film school, but I feel like I majored in myself. I sat alone for hours, sometimes even days on end, studying myself down to a detrimental degree. Was it worth it to move from home? Was it worth it to find myself? The song played as I questioned it all. When the world went on pause, it was 2020. 10 years had now passed since I had heard the tune. I had now seen the performance live 4 separate times. I was back home again in Indiana, taking cover from the storm. But the storm made me stagnant, and I had to escape it. But to where? And to when? It didn't take many overnights working at an Amazon warehouse to realize chasing my dreams was better than this. When I moved to LA, it was 2021. The lessons I had learned from moving the first time made this venture so much easier, but saying it was easy at all would be a mistake. My creativity dwindled as I played the game. Was this even worth it anymore? Now I was here, down in the valley, and I loved it at first. But my favorite parts of myself had slowly been dying without me even realizing it. When I met you, it was 2024. It was just like when I heard this song for the first time, my head and my heart connecting in unison. You reminded me of the power that words held, how they can bring me to tears when I needed them most, especially the joyful ones. To find you, I'd have to travel back to the place my spark started to dwindle, but I have no doubt you will bring it back. You already have. 15 years have now passed. Isn't it wild how much one song can stick with you? How lyrics flow with the wind of life, even when they're as planted on a vinyl as an old tree and rich soil. Sometimes you just know when words will stick with you. Sometimes you just know when something is special. Sometimes you just know when something is worth holding on to. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. That was beautiful. Let's hear it again for Kyle Bastin reading his after poem. Woo! Next you're going to hear from Crystal Letters. Give it up for Crystal. Thank you.
Hi everybody, thank you, and thank you to Dreams in Hiding for having me here. My name is Crystal Letters. You can find me on Instagram at Crystal Letters Official. And the first piece I'm going to read is called Elelogap. Water spirit, sailing through the waters like a scaly sea dragon, as he shimmers from sunlight's refractions. Elevated through waves, exalted by the living waters, praised by the flowing river, running deep within the celestial ocean. He governs the rain, the springs, the lakes, and the streams. His wise words carries far through the rivers and throughout the seas. Undines swimming around the river bend, play in the water, curving like silk scarves in the design of stained glass with impressions of sea foam and wishing stones and peacock feathers drenched after sun showers. Tossing pebbles along shorelines and passing in between my toes as I sink my body into your fluid ecosystem. Universe. You are a never-ending cycle of energy, fading away to begin again. You give birth to constellations and galaxies in a single breath. Stars burning light and burning bright, nurturing bodies of water, bodies of gas and plasma. Oceans wash with the ebb and flow. Waves converge at the end of the cosmos. Cosmically speaking, you are the light in the tunnel after life has been lost. You are the shadow that sits behind the sun. You are the moon. You are the sky that reminds us of our minute reality. You take pleasure in the human experience, the life cycle, the divine, the enlightened. As you take, you give. As you destroy, you create. As above, so below. Thank you. Again, you can find me on Instagram at Crystal Letters Official. Thank you so much.
All right, let's hear it again for Crystal. Thank you so much. Please give her a follow. Again, that's Crystal Letters Official on Instagram. Next, you're going to hear from Johnny Queor. Give it up for Johnny.
Hello friends, how are you today? This piece is called Tu Wung Fu. Swayze swaying in a pencil skirt. Not a man, not a woman, but an angel. And I connect with that molecularly. Julie Newmar, a statuesque queen, overlooking the wild. Cherry Jubilee. Tu Wung Fu, thank you for the memories and for everything. This next piece does not have a title, but here it is. The melancholy comes in waves, ripples from the spit of my wishes. The surveillance footage is concerning, running in circles again and again. wailing at each completion like a lunatic, because the smell of my delusions are sweet, but charred and bitter when they reach my teeth, creating a whirlpool of despair in my center, off-white from trying to keep myself decent. Do you ever fixate on the edge of sanity and just how close you are to crossing it? I promise myself sweet treats if I can just keep it all glued together, but I'm wet and sticky like paper mache, and everything feels quite scattered, despite myself being saturated and exhausted even after sleep. Thank you.
Give it up again for Johnny. Again, you can follow him on Instagram at Johnny Queor, and which is JOHNNYQU33R on Instagram. Give him a follow and support his work. Next, you're going to hear from RescuePoetix. Give it up. Hola, beautiful ones. Let's hear it for our host. Come on, come on. I know you're hard. Come on. One of the hardest jobs in the world is to get poets to do something. It's like herding cats. Caught in the paradox of having it all, reaching out and back, never truly knowing what's in my grasp, perplexities of womanhood, a miracle and a swear word. I strive to flex the barriers, live in my head and in my reality and in the reality of others, never truly choosing where to set roots, with two of everything, one for each side. Roots are for the comfortable and the settled. If I choose to settle, that labels me. If I choose to be wild, that labels me as well. If I choose to speak my mind, that too labels me. So I choose. Keep all the labels. Miracles are terrifying, as it should be. Second to none, woman is the first of our kind world bearers. Chaos within to feed chaos without dividing dimensions of flesh, inventing a new universe, recreating and redefining as miracles do, terrifying to the point of rejection. Woman cannot be real. She cannot be. She cannot be. She cannot exist. I am as I was meant to be. I am as woman. Poem. And that is an afterpiece inspired by a visual piece of art from Crystal Letters, who is a multidisciplinary artist. And you can find it in the latest anthology of Dreams in Hiding. And there's so much beautiful work in that book. And for my last piece, also based on womanhood. Woman is based on the ideas of others' expectations, recreating ourselves from remnants, rebuilding and redoing and doing what others think we should. Those pieces that once held value, too important to discard, concepts once held true, foundations of beliefs taught to us by others, perceptions and their perspectives, their faults now. I've had to discover that on my own. Naysayers would have us believe we are incapable. Evolution, however, rare and fleeting, holes in vessels designed to keep on spilling. I am not that any longer. Once rife with insecurities, two-dimensional renderings, I don't need you to believe in me or remind me of the person you thought I was once. I'll be on my way, climbing through multifaceted terrains, nurturing gardens of unique and wondrous abilities, renaming planets, vestiges of ancestors in their soil,
standing on salmon sunset-colored sands, kicking stars to make room for the new splitting of waves, creating waterfalls of existence and resistance. I may not know what the future holds or what the future means, and I will be dancing and singing as I learn, no longer accepting a scripted, trapped freedom. As a mosaic, pieces once broken are now placed together in a way that removes benign neglect. Each piece of me is now a colorful reminder of healing, expelling restrained breaths, taking delight, shedding the jagged edges that held the captive and held me in the expectations of those who have no value now, who are no longer there now, who are no longer part of my story now, pieced by ideas of my own expectations now. Poem.
All right, let's hear it again for RescuePoetix. That was incredible. Next, you're going to hear from the lovely Isabella Calisi-Wagner. Give it up for Isabella.
Thank you, thank you. I am Isabella Calisi-Wagner. I'm an interdisciplinary artist, and I'm here reading my after poem, which was inspired by my gorgeous jazz-playing husband, bass player. It's called Booty Dwea. I have no modesty when the doghouse bassman plucks his 4 thick strings, vibrating in synchronicity with my trembling breaths, moving in tandem with the drummer's wire brushes, dragging tender fingers on his drumhead smooth skin like this. Booty dwea, oh me shwea, ya. When it's over, tiny explosions pop down my arms, down my flanks, my legs, my hair, as I reach for more music, dancing around my shameless head. By the way, he's doing a residency on the Upper West Side at OJU. Check it out, OJU, Broadway. Anyway, this song is called Angels Singing for Me. Sweet slumber, where are you? The night is dark, the breaths abated, slowed by the heat, layered in darkness, above me and beside me. My blanket is soft, pillow plush, and too delicate for my sharp dreams. The evening drips into the inkwell, unwritten words on transparent paper, revealing the subtext, reading in dulcet tones that the morning will never come. A car howls in the black screeching in the street. Its muffler assails the peace I dream of. The beast rumbles forth. In its relentless, perverse warriors march to lay waste to our blessed heavenly dreams. This is very short, if you'll allow me this one. It's called Reality. Reality, reality. Reality, 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 reality. Reality, 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 reality. Reality, not a show. That's it.
All right, let's hear it for Isabella one more time. You can follow her on Instagram at IsaBookLadyNYC. Also, I don't recall if I gave RescuePoetix Instagram or not, so I'll give it again just in case. It's at RescuePoetix on Instagram. Let's hear another round of applause for Isabella. Next, you're going to hear from the incredible Patricia Carragon.
Okay, ready to rock? This is from the anthology,
in Dreams, inspired by Roy Orbison. When I was a teen, no candy-colored clown paid me a visit, nor did everything turn out all right. When the lights went out, the Sandman came, not once, but several occasions, gave me my first lessons in fear and distrust. Silent screams gasped for air, penetrating a blue-gray nightmare. After a year's absence, the Sandman returned, held up my painting. Leafless temple of trees burned against an orange and red sky. He praised it while destroying it. Scraps of orange, red, and ash paper fell like stardust. Years later, he came by for the last time, dressed in a dull, baggy suit. A beggar asked for forgiveness before disappearing into the blue-gray mist. He tapped my shoulder, whispered, "Everything will be all right." And I'm going to end with this volatile poem I wrote last year. Glass Roses, inspired by J.G. Ballard's The Garden of Time, and what's going on now. You can't wake up and smell the roses when they've turned to glass. Petals too showy, too insular, too inanimate to feel and understand the world outside your garden walls. You, like those fake petals, strut your sculptured bud in gaudy plumage of deceased birds. Wear diamonds fastened in blood and the silent screams of those who work to survive, not to live. Clothes studded in crystal scream, "Look at me!" while another family moves to Tent City. You admire an expensive bag crafted from ice, while the children of Gaza gather rainwater to drink. Your extravagance wears designer rose glasses and earbuds, not seeing or hearing the approaching mob. The working poor who fight to keep a ceiling over their heads, stretch shrinking dollars at supermarkets and elsewhere. And American healthcare won't care if they get sick. Raising a living wage still won't cut it when political parties make Pinocchio promises before changing hands after Election Day. You smile and pluck another rose, but life is not a TikTok moment, because not all influences are about self-absorbance. You can't stymie time when time must move forward. Your garden is dying faster than ever. You don't see that Gaia is crying while being engulfed in flames. We're waking up and taking to the streets, not accepting your Hunger Games attitude, the brutality to quash our voices, the building of a new Gilead, the genocide of certain people by governmental decree. Soon, you'll become calcified statues designed to overlook your destroyed garden, the crumbled walls of your fortress, while holding a broken glass of your once beautiful rose. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.
All right, let's hear it again for Patricia Carragon. That was incredible. Woo! You can find her on Instagram at Patricia Carragon or P Carragon. I don't remember which it is, but she's on Patricia Carragon. Okay, I was right the first time. All right, we have one more reader for you. Is Yetvart in the house? Yetvart Majian? Okay, well, I'm gonna read one more then. Johnny, do you have the anthology? I'll read a short one, and hopefully he'll run over here. I just want to say really quickly, putting this anthology together was a very large undertaking, and I could not have done it without each and every single writer and creator and just wonderful person that was a part of it and contributed a piece. What is an after poem? As Kyle lovingly explained it earlier, and I will say it once more for anyone who's just now joining us. An after is a piece of art that is inspired or influenced by another body of work while paying homage to the original art piece, another form of art is expressed. So, if there is a work of art that inspires you, write something about it and share it. And I'm going to read something really short, if I can find what page it's on. Also, there are some lovely photographs in this anthology that were taken and shared by the incredible Isabella Calisi-Wagner. I don't know if anyone can see this, but it's very pretty. And there's beautiful photographs all throughout the entire thing that Isabella shared, which I'm very grateful for. Okay, I'm gonna read this little excerpt that's from the ending of a piece that I wrote after The Perks of Being a Wallflower, if anyone is familiar with that. The piece is called Nostalgic Wallflowers. I like the movie and the book, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think that they were both great. They were also written by like the same person. Sometimes you have to buy yourself the typewriter, and sometimes you have to place the pen into your own hands. Perhaps that's just a side effect of life. Perhaps that's just a perk of living. Perhaps it's the world's way of reminding us that our moments do matter. Nostalgia comes knocking, and we can never not answer. Thank you guys very much. Again, this was Dreams in Hiding Writing. You can find us on Instagram at dreamsinhiding.writing. Thank you so much for everyone who came out. And everyone who just read, please gather around because I want to take a picture with you all. Thank you and have a beautiful day.
So sorry. First time reading here, and I read it 2 stages, and it was hard to run over here. Thanks for being here. Tiffany, thank you so much for doing this work. I'm going to read you one poem. It's an after poem out of a book about after poems by Pablo Neruda. Neruda found images of his love in nature, in the Chilean picturesque landscape. I'm from Union City, where it's very urban and city-like. So Pablo, I've never read this after running. Pablo had his white thighs. The world existed in her for him. He sang birds through rivers and dug into her. The breeze became his ease in love, loss, and despair. He wove his verse into picturesque Chilean landscape. I have chain link storefronts, urban decay, Bergen line cityscape. I have smudged windows, street parking meters, and yellow caution tape, sparse city trees and their winter branches clawing into sky of cemetery zombie lament. I have metal gates like boundaries slamming down nightly, dividing inside from out where the homeless make their beds. I have been tattooed with the graffiti of your unease. I am hanging like broken public telephones swinging from bare wire in flickering neon prison. The store is closed now and the phone out of order. I stand before the dark wind, book in hand, learning to look with Neruda at night, storefront, reading light, learning to look so I can describe what it means to have loved you, like he described her thighs, as hills, as all of nature, as all of him, and ultimately as all gone, if not for the poetry. I don't have time to do my second poem. I'll just do the last stanza of it. I want to dedicate it to my current partner. That was written about a past love, and I'm in a very happy love now. And the very last stanza, thanks for publishing this, is sunset tonight, future certainty, gulls surf the sky, over seafoam calling, beckoning, growing together, maple syrup memories, we are winning. That's dedicated to Danya, who's in Germany right now. Thanks for having me.